Bonjour, everyone. Hi, this is Neshi Lokotz. Welcome to Star Nation's organization's main fan page, where I do the daily live stream, or nearly every day, because now I'm going from Sunday to Thursday now. We started that last week, actually. And so, welcome. And I'm broadcasting from Star Nation's Academy here in Tomah, Wisconsin. And it's a cloudy, rainy day. And it's windy too. And so it actually kind of feels like fall out there. Yeah, it's actually kind of cold. And very rainy. It's one of those days that you can hear it on the roof, and you either curl up with a good book or you're baking something. That's the kind of day it is. And but welcome. Today is Wednesday, May 8th. May 8th. Yeah, it's been a kind of a strange kind of day, actually. My usual routine was kind of turned upside down and on its side. And so it's like, okay, it's one of, when you have a routine, right? And you're just going, okay, now what was I supposed to do now? Oh, yeah, I was going to get that done. I was going to get that done. So it makes life interesting, that's for sure. And yeah, and George, our puppy, 9-month-old puppy, he's at daycare today. And so I thought I was going to have all kinds of time to be able to get things done for the magazine today, and actually do a little bit of something around the house that I can't do when George is around, because he makes it difficult, because he's trying to help, right? Well, yeah. So I'm just trying to be in the flow of things, and not get too, oh my goodness, I'm not getting this done or that done. Yeah, I'm sure it's all for a divine purpose, right? Divine timing, that thing. So today's cards are very interesting, because I wasn't really sure. I wasn't really sure how these were going to go together. And so I can't wait to hear what you think and what you're feeling about these cards. Before I get started, and before I forget, I am going to like and share our live stream, and I invite you to do the same thing. Here we go. I'm going to send it over to my news feed, and so that all my friends know that I'm live streaming. There we go. There. Excellent. Okay, so I gotta charge my phone again. It's I'm losing. I don't have enough battery on it to monitor the show. Okay, so here I gotta take this out. All right, so, and I've been doing this almost every day, just so that everybody catches on to what we're using. We changed up what cards we're using, divination cards we're using. At the beginning of the month, I started to use this deck. It's called the Lakota Sweat Lodge cards by Chief Archie Fire Lame Deer and Ellen Sarkis. And it was copyrighted in 1993. And it's out of print, but you can still get used cards and used books. Yeah. I bought this early 2000s. Probably 2001, I would imagine. Yeah. First time I saw it and used it was at a training course I was at in California. Yeah, and so when we went shopping, of course, I had to go find a bookstore that carried decks of cards, and so I found my own deck. Yeah, hey, Stephanie's here. Oh, you're on the road. Okay. No worries. Just drive careful. Drive careful. I'm sure you'll get here in time. Well, Dawn Nelson is here. Hello, Dawn. It's good to see you in the chat. I was thinking about you the other day. Yeah. I was going over some ascension stuff, and it reminded me of our conversation that we had not too long ago. All right, so here we go. This is the first card. Now, remember that this is the Lakota language, and I just want to make sure I'm pronouncing this one right. Okay. And E is the A. All right. All right. So this is going to this is kind of like when we were doing the angels and not angels and ancestors. Sorry, the Druid animal oracle deck, and it had a lot of Gaelic in it, right? This is Lakota. So we're doing another language here. So this is Olowanpi. Olowanpi. Sacred songs. Olowanpi. Sacred songs. And it's about harmony. Don't you just love this picture? I do. Look at that moon. You got the constellations there. It's probably the Pleiades, I would imagine. The seven sisters. And they're standing around a fire, right? Beseeching, praying. Yeah. There we go. I have a thing about drums, right? In fact, my drum making workshop over in Michigan next weekend has been sold out for a really long time. And I can't wait to get there and see people I haven't seen in like 3 years, right? Yeah. But look at they're doing hand drums. So it's sacred song, Olowanpi. Sacred songs. It's about harmony. It's about harmony. Hello, Morris. Good to see you. Well, we're not doing individual card draws on this particular show, Morris. Okay. The cards today are and every day that I do this live stream is really about a group card draw. All right, and we have a spiritual conversation around that card, and so if you really enjoy doing or having a card drawn for you, join us tonight for Soul Connections with Polly Jo LeBay. She is doing a healing meditation at the front half of her show, and the second half is all about individual card draws. Okay. And watch in the comment section here. Our social media manager, Stephanie, is going to be posting information about the different shows that are coming up. And you can always get the link to that show tonight. It's at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Okay. I hope to see you in the chat. That way you can get your own card drawn for you. All right. And she does a really good job at those readings. Yeah. Okay. Well, look who just popped in. Julie Shumway Hill's here too. Hello, Julie. Hello. All right. So this is the first card. Olowanpi. And it's sacred songs. It's all about harmony. Okay. All right. Something just kind of went through my mind, so I'm going to share it. I had this question a long, long time ago about why is it that we only see or hear about Native Americans that are, doing their ceremonies at night? Well, which isn't completely true. There's a lot of ceremonies that happen during the day, but it depends on the time of year. And this happens to be out west of the Mississippi. Okay. And the reason why a lot of ceremonies occur at night is because during the daytime, it is just too hot to be out in the noonday sun or the afternoon sun. And so lots of times they'll start the preparations for a ceremony in the afternoon. and end up having the ceremony in the evening when it's cooler. It has a lot to do with more common sense, okay, than anything else, because it just gets too hot. All right, so here we go. Olowanpi, sacred songs, and it's all about harmony. Harmony. Try not to cover up the sacred songs. Rob, you're too funny. I don't know anything about harmony. Okay, so here is the message. Okay, the message is: we, the keepers of the sacred songs, greet you. Song is a language older than any living tongue. The sacred songs of all times and nations contain within their music and harmonies great knowledge from the realm of light. The reverberation of the notes within your body awakens memories and wisdom, clears the channels of energy, and brings about harmony within the individual cells and all that has been created. Unity is established through the focus of spirit, mind, and body, enabling the singers of those most powerful songs to sustain truth within the world. We, the keepers of these songs and the songs of all the spirit circles, sing with you. We join our vibrations with yours. Truly, your voice is heard among the stars. I like that a lot. Surely your voice, truly your voice is heard among the stars. In other words, the ancestors hear our voices. Yeah. Yeah. And, when you stop to think about it just a little bit, how much music and song is in our lives, right? We hear it every day, all day. Songs of one kind or another. Even if you just have the television on, there's commercials, and 9 times out of 10, they have music in their commercials. And even if you're not doing television and you're only doing like internet, YouTubes and that kind of thing, a lot of the commercials on YouTube have background music. And we're singing or humming or whistling something, aren't we? We have a song that gets stuck in our head. Do you ever have that? And it's usually just a refrain or just a part of it, and it keeps playing over and over and over in your head. It's like, listen to a different song. What my husband does is he starts to sing it or whistle it. And it's good for a little while, but after a while, it's like, get a different song, man. It's like, turn on some music. And when Paul and I, on the weekends, when we're cooking supper or a meal together, we have music on in the background, and of all kinds. It's just, a lot of times it's the 70s rock, but it's all kinds of music that we listen to. And this particular one, they're talking about the sacred songs. And I think that you have to really kind of take in your definition of what it means to be sacred, right? I think that it's anything that uplifts your soul, uplifts your feelings, right? Picks you up. And so a sacred song could be just about any song that makes you feel happy. The one that comes to mind all the time is Walking on Sunshine. I almost said the name of the band that sings that song, and I can't remember it. It's an 80s song, right? Walking on Sunshine. That song always makes me smile. It always makes me smile. Yeah. So I think it depends on how you define sacred for yourself. Now, the songs that they happen to be, speaking of, and through this card, are the sacred songs that are sung during Anipi, during the sweat lodge. There's certain songs that the drummers sing. And here's the information about the tradition. The tradition during the sweat lodge ceremony, the fire pit symbol. Oops, skipped a page. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Ugh. Yeah, turned one too many pages. The tradition. The sacred songs are teachings about the essence of life. Each song contains a fundamental understanding, and even if this understanding is defined in different ways by different individuals, the teaching does not vary. The basis of Lakota spiritual teaching is love, humility, patience, and respect for others and oneself. And so many of the sacred songs are all about those, the basis of the spirituality. Yeah. Which isn't all that different, I suppose, from any other culture or religion, right? I think we have to get to the essence of it. And I like what they wrote here is that each song contains a fundamental understanding. And even if this understanding is defined in different ways by different individuals, because one of the things that I know for sure about Native America, about Indian country, is that there's variations to the theme. Okay, just like the medicine wheel. There's 568 federally recognized nations here in the United States. And each of those indigenous nations have an understanding of the medicine wheel, but it's interpreted differently with variations within it, right? And even those variations go within your own nation to your own clan and even to your own family sometimes. And so the actual base of no matter what variation they're using is about the Lakota spiritual teachings. That doesn't change for them. Okay, and for those of you that have been in and experienced a sweat lodge, and they started singing the songs, right? If you've been in a more traditional Native American sweat lodge, you'll hear the songs. If you experience a sweat lodge that is not necessarily Native American, or there's other cultures also hold what we term as a sweat lodge. It's like I know that the old Irish and the Celts also had a form of a sweat. Yum, coffee. And so when they start singing the songs, and they sing the songs in the Lakota language. And the first time I was ever in a traditional sweat, I didn't know the songs, but there was a part of me that did, that recognized it. And I could actually recall some of the words in a lot of the songs. And I liked it so much that I actually have a couple of different CDs, downloads. I've got one CD of NAB songs, but I have downloads, right, from iTunes. And I play them. I play them in my car. I play them in my house. If I'm working outside, sometimes I'll have it in my earbuds. And so I know the songs a little bit better. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the words as correctly. Okay. And so if you're ever in a sweat and you think, oh, I don't know these songs, there's a part of you that will recognize them. And they feel good. They're very uplifting. And because, Inipis are all about healing and prayer. And so those songs really do mean something. They mean a great deal. They bring that vibration, that light language into the ceremony. And so there's a part of you, your spirit, your soul, that recognizes that light language. Hmm. Hey, Pat, good to have you here. Yeah, so sacred songs. That's the card. This is the first card. And so what they're doing is they're singing those sacred songs around the fire, right? And so those sacred songs that they use in the Inipi, they actually use them in other places as well. I mean, if you were following the water protectors in North Dakota and saw some of the live stream footage from there, they were singing those songs whenever they had I don't want to call it a protest, but when they would go in to have a gathering, we'll call it that. Yeah, and I remember one of them very clearly. They were on the 1806 highway bridge, and the drummers were called up to the front because it was getting kind of dicey, and trying to keep those water protectors focused, and because it was supposed to be done in prayer and in peace, right? And there were instigators there. There were from the other side, actually. And so they would call the drummers up, and the drummers would start singing the sacred songs. And you could see how it would shift the energy within the group, and things would calm down, right? Yeah. Julie's saying, Paul Simon's Late in the Evening got stuck in my head the other day. Looked for the meaning in the lyrics. I know, right? And so it's truly, that is some of our spiritual team's work when they have a song in our heads. It's like, what is that for? Yeah, and looking at the lyrics. This used to always happen to me when I was first starting to teach, right? And it was, I think it was Simon and Garfunkel too. Yeah, Bridge Over Troubled Waters. No, that's not the one. Not Bridge Over Troubled Waters. Slow down, you move too fast. Gotta make the morning last. Whenever I heard that song in my mind, I would literally, that they were telling me to slow down. You're going too fast. Slow down. There's things that you're missing along the way because you're multitasking. You're going too fast. Slow down. And to me, that's sacred. That's sacred. Well, hello, Heather. Aha. Did you know? Okay, here's a good one. Thank you, Heather, for saying that. That women say aha, how in my culture, right? There's always a big discussion in Indian country about where did aho start from, and because it's not in the Lakota language. We've had elders talking about that, and they say that you might hear a man say something similar to that. They think maybe it was a misunderstood word, and it turned into a ho. But that's in indigenous languages, there are certain words and phrases that are meant for the different genders because it means a little bit different, a different meaning. That's a good one. And so that's the discussion that the elders would have. Those people who are either fluent speakers or near fluent speakers, and so yeah, just a little tidbit there. Julie, feeling groovy. I know. Mm-hmm. Feeling groovy. I know. But every time I heard that, and it was just that refrain, though, just that part of the song, they were telling me, my spiritual team was telling me to slow down. And I thought it was a nice way to do it, right? And as long as I heeded that, and I said, okay, all right, we're going to take a break, and then I'm going to sit down and say, which is the what I'm working on is the most important to get done first. And that because I wasn't missing anything then, right? Things I wasn't missing those subtle things. Yeah. Yeah, Heather's saying, I've seen both, and the spelling is what I found more confusing. I know. My mom, who she is a fluent in Ho Chunk, she's a fluent listener. She understands the language 100%. She grew up with it, right? But she doesn't speak it. And so she was explaining to me once a long time ago. She says it's a very complicated language because one word could mean different things used in different sentences and depends on whether it's used by a man or a woman. And so she says you really have to pay attention to the conversation and what they're saying in order to truly understand what they're saying to you. And it's like, oh my goodness. And I thought Spanish was hard, right? Okay, so here, that was the tradition. So here's what the card meaning is, okay? The card meaning is walk with inner guidance in harmony with your environment and with others. Obstacles facing you begin to disintegrate. What you have been working toward is now within your reach. You begin to see how you fit into your surroundings and to acknowledge your role within the chord and the measure. Okay. So, many of us have been doing a lot of healing work, right? We've been doing healing our traumas, our emotional and mental traumas. A lot of us have been doing our individual work. And each time we go through that life lesson and we do the healing around it and the releasing, and we're in the integration piece. Because we've done that, our vibration, our personal song, our soul song changes somewhat because we get closer and closer to our original vibration that we came in with, right? And so when we're in harmony, when our vibration is more clear and harmonic rather than discordant, we receive more information. We're able to take in more information. The information is always there. The light language is always there. Energy is always flowing. But it's like we're able to really understand it. We're able to bring it in because we're more in harmony. Does that make sense? Yeah, we're more open. We're more open to it. That there's that aspect of us, maybe it's not our mental mind, but there's our other bodies, our emotional, our spiritual, our physical bodies may be understanding it in a different way than our mental mind would, right? And so we're still taking it in. But when we're, how did they put that? Each song contains walking with inner guidance in harmony with your environment and with others. Obstacles facing you begin to disintegrate. Okay, so when you're more in harmony, when your vibration is closer to getting even closer and closer to your original, is that those obstacles, those interferences, they start to be removed. They literally disintegrate. They're no longer in your path. Right? You don't even recognize them because you don't see them. They're not there anymore. Yeah, I think that's really good. You begin to see how you fit in your surroundings and to acknowledge your role within the chord and the measure. I like that. Within the chord and the measure. Heather is saying, thank you. I appreciate your insight. I have Cherokee and Blackfoot ancestors, and I'm only recently trying to learn more about my Native American lineage. Oh, that's really good, Heather. Thank you for sharing that. You probably are able to remember a lot more. Okay. There's many times in the work that I do that people are drawn to me because I am Native American. Okay. And it's something I can't hide because look at me. You can see I'm a Native American woman, right? But I hear that quite a bit, actually, Heather, is that people will tell me about their heritage, their background. And some people say that they weren't raised in the culture because maybe the parent who was not Native American, their parents split up, and so the child went with, let's say, the mom, and the mom was non-Native, and so the child didn't grow up within the culture, and so as young adults or adults, they're trying to find where they fit, right? And so that kind of goes along with the card, I think. You're trying to find that harmony, trying to sense it, right? And here is something that I know to be true is because you carry that DNA, that you have the wisdom from the ancestors already inside you. And really, it is about remembering more than it is learning. There's some things that, yes, are learned. Yes. But there's other things that are a part of you that you already have it. It's the matter of remembering, uncovering it, and remembering it. And how do you do that? You have to go to your heart because it comes from your heart. Yeah. So Cherokee and Blackfoot. Yeah. Yeah, I've got Potawatomi is who I'm enrolled with, tribal member of. I have Ho-Chunk ancestry because my mom's mom, my grandmother, my Gaga, that's Ho-Chunk for grandmother, it was Ho-Chunk. And on my dad's side, he was Mexican Indian, he was Yaqui. And so I have that ancestry as well. And I'm also French Canadian. And I just found out that I'm a little bit German too. So see, I've got some things to learn too about the other aspects of me. I didn't know anything about. I think it's like 3%, 3% German, something like that. Stephanie is saying sacred song and cloud, the vibration of water. Okay, and the cycle, history, memory of the molecules, aka the universe. I'm thinking I'm going to get to the other card in just a second, and I think you're on the right track there, Stephanie. I really do. Okay. And Heather's also saying, yes, through our own healing process, we made more room to bring in this wisdom. Yeah. Yep. You free up some space, right? And that space is sacred. And really, it's also it's uncovering what you already have, what's already there. Because through life experience, we're here to learn, we're here to master, right? And so through that, many times our experience has been traumatic and maybe even dramatic, right? And sometimes we get caught up in the trauma and the drama of it all, much like a soap opera. And I haven't seen a soap opera in like 30 years. I don't know. Maybe are they even still out there anymore? I don't even know. And so when we do our healing work, we're removing all of that debris and interference, all those blocks. Okay, so the author of this deck always gives us a meditation as well. And so here's the meditation for the Olowanpi. Okay, it says, I raise my voice in praise, and joy flows through my being. I raise my voice in praise, and joy flows through my being. So, we know what it feels like, right? When we're singing a song that is very meaningful to us and it's a joyful song. And how it shifts our energy. Because we could be in a foul mood. And we could have the radio on, or we could have a song. Maybe you are already a singer and you love to sing and hum. And there's certain songs that that when you sing them, they make you feel better. They're happy songs, right? They help you to shift your energy. They help you to do your own attitude adjustment, right? To me, that's sacred. Those are sacred songs just as much as the sacred songs that are sung in the sweat lodge. Here, I want to get one of the names of the downloads or the streaming that you can get if you want to. And there's also YouTube's too. Hang on. There's one that I really, really like. Sure. Here it is. It's Wakan Olawan by Calvin Standing Bear. Stephanie, I don't know if you're able to, but can you take a look at Wakan, Wakan, Wakan Olowan, Olowan, by Calvin Standing Bear. And the reason why I like his is because he sings the songs a little bit slower, so you can actually hear the pronunciation of the words. Because there's others that are really good, but they sing really fast. And so if you're interested in hearing the Sweat Lodge sacred songs, that's a good one. There's others too. There's others that actually have more teachings with them as well. Okay, so here's the second card. Mahpia. Mahpia means cloud. Mahpia. Compulsions and addictions. Compulsions and addictions. It's a very interesting image, isn't it? Mahpia, cloud. There we go. And so here's the message. It says, here, it's always nice to have the picture up. I am cold and distant. The only heat I know is that of Wakian when he chooses to wrap himself within me. I am loose and unformed, at the mercy of the wind. A vehicle of others' ways, I travel continent to sea to continent, bringing nourishment or despair. I wish for you, as for myself, wholeness. You may see a cloud when you look upon me, but know that I am only a servant without direction. My expression is that of others. My true being is unformed. It's a cloud. And so in the tradition, the information is Tate, which is the word for wind, sent his eldest son. Now we're hearing about the supernatural beings. Okay, so Tate Wind sent his eldest son Ea to form the first cardinal point in the west. The first cardinal point in the west. Disobeying his father, Ea went up to the mountain where Wakian, the thunder beings, live. As punishment, he now travels across the earth as Mahpia cloud. Mahpia brings the shadow across the sun and the rain, snow, hail, and sleet. Within this cloud, as thunder and lightning, travels Wakian, hidden from human eyes. Now, when I read this, I couldn't help but thinking of my own family, okay, because my clan happens to be Thunder. And most of us are named for sky beings, our native names. In fact, I have several people in my family with names within the clouds, okay, like Thundercloud and So so when I read this, I thought, Mahpia could be one of my ancestors, one of those supernatural ancestors, because he is my clan. And so when he says, my expression is that of others, my true being is unformed. Thunder comes from the Wakian, from the thunder beings. I had to stop and think about that a little bit. Thunder beings. And it's about compulsions and addictions. Now, when it comes to compulsions and addictions, right, is that we all have them. Most of the time we only hear. Thank you, Stephanie. Stephanie's got the link up for that. She's got a couple of them. Yay. Thank you, Stephanie. Isn't she good? She finds these things so fast. And she also has a YouTube one too. Great. Thank you, Miigwech. Okay. So addictions, compulsions, we all have them. Us two-leggeds, doesn't matter who you are. We all have them of one kind or another. And they're on a spectrum, right? You go from the ones that are really destructive and not just to the person who has the addiction, but to the people around him or her as well. Everything to the other side of it, which is maybe the addiction is reading books, buying books, right? It's anything that's out of balance. That you're not satisfied with just one book every once in a while, but you're buying books or going to the library multiple times and you're reading 3 or 4 books at one time. That would be me. Maybe it's shoes. Maybe for my mom, it's coats. She has all kinds of coats. She only wears one, but she has all kinds. Maybe it's stones and crystals. It's anything that's out of balance. And so we all have it. It could be cigarettes. It could be gambling. It could be alcohol. It could be drugs. And you have to know that there's when they're more invasive and destructive addictions, is usually there's entities along with that's interfering with you, interfering with your soul growth, right? Yeah, so we all have them. But the thing is that when you take a look at it, when you do that self-reflection, when you're taking stock, and taking a look at it, and if you can make the adjustment so that it's more in balance. I'm not saying that Heather's going, mine is crystals. Right. Is that if you bring it into balance, it doesn't mean that you can never have another stone or crystal. It just means that maybe you only get one when it's really meaningful to something that you're working on or working with, right? Rather than walking into a stone or crystal shop, and it used to feel like this for me, it'd be like walking into a humane society, and you want to take them all home with you because they've been maybe not very well treated in the extraction from Grandmother Earth. And so we all have those addictions and compulsions. It's something that we have, that's a part of our growth here. It's a part of mastering our gifts and why we're here. All right, so here's the meaning of the card. It's time to learn from your addictions, to begin to resolve habits in order to realize the true dimensions of your personal power. I'm going to say it again. It's time to learn from your addictions, to begin to resolve habits in order to realize the true dimensions of your personal power. Compulsions and addictions cast a dark shadow over your life, blocking your view of your soul's purpose, clouding your focus, and closing in your perspective. Dispel the cloud hovering overhead and begin taking steps toward release from the major compulsions in your life. Determine the internal and external support you require. Surround yourself with positive people who will encourage you. Free your mind and spirit so you can soar. It is your right to live unshackled and uncontrolled by any addiction. Make a commitment to improve your life, releasing the disintegrated old to create space for the solid and the new. And here they're even using the word cloud in a couple of those sentences. That the addiction clouds your soul's purpose is to break through the clouds. Because remember, the cloud doesn't have any form. It takes on the expression of others, right? So what does that have to do with sacred songs? Here's my take on it. Is that sacred songs changes our vibration. It brings us into harmony, right? It brings us into harmony. And so sacred song we can use as an ally, as a tool to be able to break through those clouds. It raises our vibration. It can help disintegrate those clouds that are covering up, casting a shadow over your soul's purpose, over your gifts. I tell you what, sometimes my spiritual team is they have a good sense of humor, because right now I'm hearing whistle while you work. Yeah. And so, yes, I believe that those sacred songs that were handed down by spirit really are light language, and they do shift our energy, and they give us information for our soul's purpose. Okay. And it doesn't matter which language that you learn it in. An indigenous language is a light language. Okay. And indigenous languages from all over the world are light languages. So depending on the DNA that you have, maybe it would be good to learn a song in your original language, even if it was just one that you could use, or you have other songs like we were talking about earlier that lift your spirit, that means something to you, that can shift you from a lower vibrational attitude to a higher vibrational attitude. And when you do that, you have the ability to be able to gain balance in your life, so that if you're dealing with one kind of addiction or compulsion that is really screwing up your life, it's time to learn the lesson from it, so you can gain the wisdom from it. And I do believe what Spirit's trying to tell us here is that we can use the sacred songs, the Olowanpis, to help with that. It's along the lines. It's very similar to when we say affirmations, mantras. It's very similar. Because, when we're singing, we're using a different part of our brain, right? That's why it's easy for us to remember lyrics to words, to songs, that we might not have heard since we were kids. And you start humming a certain tune, and everybody goes, oh, yeah, I know the words to that one. Yeah. Because we're using a different part of our brain. So does it stand to reason that Olowanpi, the sacred songs, that we're using a different part of our being to help us to be able to shift our energy so that we can break through those clouds, break through those addictions that are clouding our soul purpose, covering them up, creating that shadow. Isn't that something? Creating that shadow? And that's a part of us, right? Our out of balance behaviors are part of our shadow selves. That's interesting. Wow. I just had an aha moment. That's my take on it. So I'm going to show them together again. And what I've learned since we've been doing these live streams is that when you look at them, is to take a nice deep breath in, and on the exhale, really that you really make the intention to really bring in as much of the information as possible into your entire being. So you're bringing it in many, many different ways, okay? Not just through your physical eyes, right? So here we go. Nice deep breath in. And so the essence, the spirit within these cards are able to help you, to assist you with their information. And perhaps you are going through something that is attainable. It is attainable. According to the Olowanpi card, it is attainable. And by using the sacred songs, the Olowanpi, that you can disperse the clouds of the addiction or compulsion, allowing you to see your soul purpose much clearer, to be able to use your gifts much more, and to bring in more information, energy. Okay. That was interesting. When the cards first showed up, because they literally, when I was shuffling, I thought it was only one card, right? But when I picked it up, that literally the cloud card was stuck. I wouldn't say stuck. It was like static electricity. So kind of, how they kind of, that feeling of it. And so when I pulled it apart, I thought, oh, that'll be interesting. How did these two go together? But there we are. Olowanpi and Mahpia for you today. It's good stuff, huh? Yeah. Heather said she's agreed. And she's also saying, I was drawn to you because we share one of the same Oracle deck, Sacred Path cards. Well, that's good. I like that one too. That was my very, very first deck I ever bought, was the Sacred Path cards, way back when. And I still, we just finished them up. I used them last month. We'll come back around to them again because I like that deck. Okay. I'm just checking my phone. All right. So, that anything that resonated with you today, whether, it was the whole thing or just bits and pieces, maybe it was a word here or a sentence there, that resonated with you, my suggestion is to embrace it and then watch, sense, feel, or see how the energy is unfolding around you today and where this information could be helpful, right? Yeah. And if it didn't resonate with you, don't worry about it. It's okay. There's always tomorrow's card, right? And you certainly don't hurt anybody's feelings, especially mine, to say that that one didn't do anything for me. It's okay. Because they're not all supposed to be to resonate with you every single time. Maybe it's just one word, or maybe it's just one phrase, and that's enough. Yep. All right. So tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, Soul Connections with Polly Jo LeBay. The first half of that is all about the healing meditations, and let me tell you, it's a powerful healing. You're coming in with your own intentions and with your own spiritual team. And what Polly Jo does with her team is they create the sacred space and they hold that space for us. And they assist us in the releasing of whatever it is that we're releasing, healing and releasing. And because we're all there together, it can be a pretty big energy field, right? And then the second half of it is the card draw. And so if you enjoy card draws, getting a single card reading, Polly Jo will draw until everybody who wants one gets one. And so sometimes it is an hour and a half or 2 hours before we're done. And so if you want to join us for that at 7 p.m., watch for the notifications. And I think, I know that Stephanie has the link also in the comments below. Okay. All right. And then tomorrow, Thursday, we have this daily live stream at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And then following us is Ed Langdon with his show, Life Wisdom with Ed Langdon at 4 p.m. Eastern. And Ed is all about helping us to release belief systems, right? Beliefs. Hang on, let me get his actual wording for it. releasing limiting beliefs. He says what beliefs he's going to discuss what beliefs are and how they affect our lives. And understanding what beliefs are, how can they affect our lives. He's going to actually help us to also release any limiting belief that you may have by using tapping, EFT. And so that's the first part of his show. And the second half is that he does channeling work. He channels the Ascended Masters who works with him. And so if you have a question for them, he's more than happy to be able to ask the question and get a reply for you. We have his where you can contact him to send your question to him beforehand, or you can also write it into the comment chat during the live show. But remember, if you want a specific answer, you have to ask a specific question. So otherwise, if you ask a general question, you'll get a general answer. Okay. All right. Let's see. Heather is saying one more thing before we say goodbye here. She says, I've never seen anyone else have them, and is when I began following you. Oh, really? We have a couple people actually in the Star Nations community who has that deck. And yeah, and every once in a while when they can, they watch live with me, and we could start our own little group, right? Those who use the Sacred Path deck cards. And a lot of people don't know the deck that we're using right now because it's out of print, right? Yeah. All right. So enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, and hopefully we'll see you tonight in the live chat. And with that, Bama Mina, that's Potawatomi for until we see each other again. Love you guys.